Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Alright, welcome back to Sahara Football. As usual, I am your host, Sellssi. So today we're going to talk about Swansea Vice Captain Ayew, Black Stars captain. And last week, although I think during the international break, he suffered an injury that ruled him out of the second leg of Ghana's game versus Sudan, and we lost that game eventually. He has recovered from that injury, but the coach of the side, Swansea, is not ready to risk him for this midweek's game versus Sheffield Wednesday. We'll be going into details on that. I'll be bringing you injury updates as well on Thomas Partey. We'll also be looking at the CAF president, former CAF president, I should call him rather, AHMAD, his current situation with CAF and FIFA. He is going to fight as we would have expected. His interim has been announced, and I'll be giving you more details about him as well. As usual, subscribe if you haven't, click on the notification bell to get more updates. So we all know Ayew suffered an injury during the international break that ruled him out of that second leg game versus Sudan, and he went straight away to his club side, Swansea City. Because of that injury, he couldn't take part in that 1-0 victory versus Rotherham, their highest goal scorer this season, contributing 5 goals for the club already. The coach of Swansea City has announced this midweek that the Ghanaian is fit again, but he is not going to risk him in this midweek game versus Rotherham. Now, the Swansea coach, he is in the person of Steve Cooper, is cautious about throwing in fit again Ayew into their midweek championship encounter game against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, Ayew missed the Swans' 1-0 victory against Rotherham over the weekend after suffering a muscle injury on international duty with the Black Stars. Now, Ayew was reported to be facing 4 weeks on the sidelines after his impromptu departure from Ghana camp, but the players reported to have made a swift recovery from the setback ahead of their midweek clash against Sheffield Wednesday. However, the manager is not one to take risks. An injury that was reported to take 4 weeks for him to fully recover has now reduced to, I think, less than a week. And he's not going to throw him into pitch right away. He is going to watch him cautiously and ease him into the game. So he might not risk him for tonight's game in that championship game they have against Sheffield Wednesday. He doesn't want to take any risk. It could aggravate the injury possibly. So a full recovery before he risks him, and I couldn't agree anymore. He says there are options in the squad, and Ayew doesn't necessarily have to play in this game. Ayew is a key of the Welsh-based side, but I think there's enough players in that squad to complement him. I agree with what the coach is trying to do here, manage the injury. Though he's fit, he doesn't want to rush him in. Another player who was injured is Thomas Partey, still out injured. Now, Arsenal are preparing to take on Molde, the UEFA Europa League. Thomas Partey, according to reports from Mikel Arteta and from the Arsenal camp, is still not 100% fit. He will miss their game versus Molde in the UEFA Europa League once again, and so it still remains his thigh injury issue is still a bother to him. My next story has to do with the Confederation of African Football. On Monday, I brought you that breaking news about the CAF president AHMAD being sacked from his post as the president of CAF based on financial misappropriation, financial mismanagement, whichever way you like to swing it, but he didn't handle the monies that were under his care really well. There were a list of things that he did, 4 offenses in particular. You can watch that full video here. And now his interim has been announced. Someone has been placed in his post. The one who has been put in the position of CAF president in the interim is Constance Omari, and now he has taken charge as the interim president of the Confederation of African Football following that suspension to CAF president AHMAD, who is going to fight it. According to reports yesterday, his lawyers, he met with them and they will appeal the decision to banish him from football for 5 years at the court of arbitration. Clearly goes to show that possibly he is guilty of those charges, but the 5-year lengthy ban is what they are looking to get rid of, and not the wrong charges, not appeal of being innocent or whatever. So clearly he did commit those offenses, but he did not think it will give him this much of a lengthy ban from all footballing activities. That's quite specific. Now, Constance Omari, who has taken over as the interim CAF president, as AHMAD was removed, is from DR Congo, and he is the FA boss of the DR Congo and the first vice president of CAF. Now, also noteworthy according to Gary Al Smith is that in May 2019, Omari funded his daughter's wedding with CAF money, plus fully funded the attendance of 7th CAF Exco members to the ceremony in DRC. So I think this is a pattern of behavior for most of those in that post, just that possibly Omari things haven't caught up with him yet. And now Confederation of African Football announced that Constant Semlemani Omari's position as interim president has been extended, and now this comes after the World Football Governing Body banned CAF president Ahmad 5 years for financial misconduct. He was interim president because Ahmad was under self-isolation. He had COVID, and according to the FIFA statement, the Malagasy, who had been under investigation, has been charged with breaching 4 acts of the FIFA Code of Conduct. Now, the Congolese FA president had been put in interim charge of football's world governing body since November 13th until the end of the month, after Ahmad, as I said, contracted COVID-19. Now, in July 2019, he was nominated as the first vice president of CAF, which was a position held by Kwesi Nyantechi before all the Anas expose and everything happened. Now, he will remain in charge of the Confederations of African Football until a new president is elected in March 2021. So we have to wait until we get a new president before Constance can leave the post. But for now, this is the man in charge of the Confederation of African Football. He is the FA boss for DRC, and we wish him the very best. If those offenses that Gary stated in his tweet about him are true, he might have to mop up his history, because eventually it does catch up to you in the end. Misappropriation of funds for personal use and everything, it will catch up with you no matter who you are, no matter where you are. It will catch up with you. FIFA are always watching, and they are really careful about corruption in the African continent. Corruption everywhere they are. See how Sepp Blatter, Michel Platini and co were brought down. This is something that our leaders have to be careful about. So that has been it for today. Injury update on Thomas Partey, still injured. Swansea vice captain Ayew is back, but he will not be risked tonight. The injury was said to take 4 weeks. He has had a speedy recovery, but the coach is not ready to risk him. Also, CAF vice president, first vice president of CAF, has been named as the interim president after Ahmad was banned for 5 years for financial misappropriation. So that has been it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box on everything. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.